Yes, indeed. It is called Lothric, where the transitory lands of the Lords of Cinder converge. In venturing north, the pilgrims discover the truth of the old words. The fire fades, and the lords go without thrones.
Well, they tried, and then they died.
When the link of fire is threatened, the bell tolls, unearthing the old lords of Cinder from their graves.
Nice.
Aldrich, saint of the deep. Farron's undead legion, the Abyss Watchers. And the reclusive lord of the profaned capital. Yon the giant.
John's gonna be the is what I'm
Only
calling
in
it now.
truth, the lords will abandon their thrones.
John's too big to be of any threat.
And the unkindled will rise. Nameless, accursed undead, unfit even to be cinder. And so it is that ash seeketh embers.
It's a very long way to tell someone that they're ash and that, you know, you're a bunch of ash and you gotta sink cinders, so we're gonna be soulless. Keep all that good. Real gift. Flashbang? So I actually, went ahead and built myself a character, class. I'm going mercenary. No, I'm just joking. I'm going pyromancer for the fire magic. Normally I would go mercenary for the high dexterity, but I went through the beginning area, and it's a lot easier to have. It's a lot easier just to have the fire magic. So this is my character model, and basically, I'm big brain strategy boy, and I do duels for not really, but in other games, like I'm really good at dueling. I have played and beaten the entire first Dark Souls, and we're just gonna see what happens. Cause why not? Fun times, fun times. Solas. I am the leader of the Feedleaf clan, which is the channel name. It's pronounced Feedleaf. And yeah, this is my Dark Souls 3 playthrough. Strategist versus Dark Souls. I am an actual legit strategist, so don't even question my mind. Also, since I'm a strategist, if I do bad, you know why. Just because I'm big brain doesn't mean I'm big brawn, so let's see what happens. Clear out the area. Just gonna go ahead and this over here. There's gonna be a little bit of grinding, but as I said before, I did go through the beginning of familiar myself with the controls, so I know where stuff is in the beginning area at least, and I'm definitely gonna clear up. Also, one nice thing about me being strategist and potentially a good dueler, no, I am in the video game, but real world, the potential is there. It's not an accident. Okay, so probably lay down a terminology. That'll be so there's the terminology of out of measure, which is basically striking when you are not in the not There's also the other normal terminology is usually within here. Besides, most weapon attacks are either called a cut, thrust, or technically there's parry and deflect, but this game has one thing. Parry and deflect is is basically where you. It's where you it's when someone goes to attack and you defend by angling your weapon so the blade uh moves away from you. Yeah. Those basic terminology I'm using is normal dueling terminology such as cut, thrust, deflect, parry, and out of measure. And the reason that's relevant is because if I ever die, I'll explain what went wrong and why I died. And it'll also become important when we start talking about, when I start walking through the strategies of how I intend to kill certain bosses. But when I do review of how I killed, what my strategy was. One benefit there is to me having someone who's relevant or familiar with dueling that and break it down. And the only reason I did that is because I knew it would work. Because I've got these. Yeah. But I haven't really gone past the beginning area. So everything past this beginning point will probably both surprise me, and there's a good chance I will die at least once. So there's always that fun part. Okay, so now that I'm at full health, for the sake of time, I'm not gonna go around. I'm not gonna go now until after the video. So all the time I go through off camera, just do it. So since I have been through this beginning here, I do not know if Bend works. There's two ways to do it. You either go up close and personal, and just dodge off his attacks and hit him, and then back away when you need to recover stamina, and then there's another way where if you have fireballs, what you can do is that for the first stage, you fight him up close, you just dodge off his attacks, and for the second stage, you stay away, and whenever you get too close, you attack. You can fire fireballs whenever he is within range. Gungear overall is a very the only reason he's a threat is because he strikes very heavy. So if he does get a hit on you, it will hurt. Also, as long as it's time you're dodging well, you can just stay away from it when he comes in after. Hit him, and then you can stay away. And done. Easy. The reason I went going Pyromancer instead of doing mercenaries, because pyromancer is very good for boss fights, and it's just a very decent short range weapon that you can use when you have after backing away without having to get close. So it's a good way to easily whittle down your opponents without having to risk too much. Only problem is the start. But as I explained, you either stay... For first phase, you always want to stay in your gun gear and just dodge out attacks. But after that, you can either stay away and use a ranged weapon, or you can just get close. And it really depends upon what you have available to you, how you want to best approach it. So yeah. Also, for most mobs, you can either do what the speedrunners do, which is literally just run past them. Which you can do for most of them, technically, but they usually end up aggroing to you, so what I usually do is I usually just bum rush them and take them out as quickly as possible. I tend to just clear out all the areas. That way I can run freely without having to worry. Also, I do know about the Master Swordsman. I kinda want his katana, so I'm gonna be doing that. But I'm gonna level up first. Oh. Jumped right off the edge there. I was literally like this close. That would have been a very unfortunate way to die. Huh. Yeah, let's just not do that. That's one thing. It's something to always worry about.
Welcome to the
Is
bonfire,
terrain
enkindled
control.
one. I tear the Lord to this end. Very well, then taken.
Terrain control is your ability to your control over the terrain. And while it's not the most important thing, it is still... You still gotta be careful about it. It's always best to have terrain control.
Ashen, so I'm ashen. Farewell, may the...
But the problem is that with these boss fights, I'm not gonna have...
A bad weapon, and ye ashen, as is thy we.
I don't imagine I'm gonna have much terrain control, because as you saw with Gundyr, he doesn't really move. I can't really dictate where he moves. I can dictate what I move in accordance with him. So as far as terrain control goes, I will consider myself as having good terrain control as long as I can... I'll consider myself as having good terrain control as long as I can control my own movements. And usually I would also make it important that I can control opponents' movements, but since I can't really dictate that, I'm just gonna have to... I'm gonna go with just... I'm gonna worry about just my own movements. So... The reason I'm doing Scimitar short sword is because with Scimitar in your offhand you can do this, which is a parry animation, which is kind of hard to do, but it still works if you happen to land it. So that's what I'm just gonna be using as a parrying item until I get a shield. And I have a bit of a bias shields because in the original Dark Souls, all of the a decent number of the shields blocked 100% of the damage, but my starting shield here doesn't. So in terms of actual shields, I won't be using one unless it
Prick them up to look. Very well, then taken.
damage. So there's only very... So unless I get one of those shields, I'm probably not gonna have one in my offhand. I wouldn't get
Farewell, may the...
considering I only need 13 to get the scimitar usable. I had enough level, I decided, why the heck not? So, thing about the, interesting bit of knowledge about the, swordsman is that you actually don't have to fight him in melee, to kill him. You do the same thing I did with Gundyr, and you just stay away from him, and just fireball him to death. The fight, you don't have to risk yourself that much to win. You kind of just win by default. So there's that. But if you do a nice little jump here, if I can land it. This is something I would normally do off screen, but... Okay, so, enough... No, I'm gonna try it. Not exactly... My character's not actually jumping the... There it is. So if you do that, you get up here. Hopefully not as many tries as I did, because that was just a sad embarrassing. So, you know, but, if you do that, if you manage to do that jump, you can then come over here, and he can't really fight you. You can just kind of, you know, fight. Except not really, because they do have the, there's the problem about them, you know, doing this. So. Oh. Yeah, he does that nice stance there that. Okay. Bruh. Usually I can actually hit him with a fireball. It's like he's... Wait, he actually dodges. Hold up. Oh my god, there's so much damage. My health's non-existent. Like he's got an actual weapon that he knows how to use. Crazy. Yeah, you see the idea here. Normally you want to make sure you want to try and guarantee that it hits, but you can technically also spam it. It might work. He might pace back and forth, which would lead you missing. And yeah, it's a very simple. If you can actually get the attacks to land, it's a very simple kill. I wouldn't mind fighting him normally. Fighting him normally is gay. Because, you know, he just does a lot of damage. And I ain't really got a lot of health. So, just not gonna do that. Also, interesting fact, up there's a little area. This is in the way. But up there's a little door that goes inside of the roof. Something like that. And by using that doorway you can get to the area up there and get that item. And then you can also listen to a bird. If you remember in the first Dark Souls, there's a bird you could drop items to, then quit the game. You enter and he had a trading thing. And you can listen to him from there. You can't really activate him until you open this area. And then go down from there, up there, because only then you can actually access the bird. Because this doesn't give you the actual roof, because you need to get to that second layer to actually get to the bird trade. And that is my intro to Dark Souls. I'm going to be doing a simple dexterity faith build because I do like miracles due to their ability to heal, and since faith actually boosts pyromancy in this game.
You. Me, Picklebee. Me, Bumperum.
And since since you can yeah, there's an SS class there, so you actually want to do this. It's very valuable. I didn't know until I came up here to grab that item, and I was walking around, and I just saw that by chance. Well, that's the shot. It's crazy, but other than that, yeah, that's always valuable to do. And then yeah, I'm gonna do a dexterity build, which is why I grabbed the katana, because I need it, and I'm doing a dexterity faith build because faith can be used for miracles, and it also increases pyromancy power, so I can combine those two, which is what I'm going to do. And
well, as your
that is going
choice,
to be my
I am.
build, and I'm going to try to stick to light and medium armor, because I like being able to actually dodge. Heavy armor, you know, from version of Dark Souls, you just and you don't move, and you move like 1 foot. So, other than that, I think that's everything relevant going into this, and hopefully this intro was a nice little demonstration of my skills going forward. And I do like bows, so I might as well get some arrows here.
Ashen.
And yeah, going forward, I'll be doing more into commentary about actual dueling-based strategy. There's different strategies now. There's dueling-based strategy. You can do one-on-one. There's a lot more fine-tuned details you can get into. So going forward, I'll be going into more detail about actual dueling and one-on-one fights. Might even throw in a few historical facts just for the heck of it. And we will handle the boss fights and break them down together. And that is how I, Solas, will be taking on Dark Souls 3. And I hope you are happy to join me on this journey.